Hi, welcome back to the channel and a new episode of Recall Knowledge, where we go over things that players and GMs can do to make a game a better experience. This episode, we're going over the benefits of a Session Zero, where the GM can lay out the ground rules of the new game and the players can field any important questions that they have before they make their characters. So stay tuned. And welcome back. So what spawned the idea for this video is that our group actually had streamed this past Wednesday, and we had a Session Zero for a new game that we're coming out with. This time we're playing Spelljammer. So Jared needs a little bit of a break of running our current main game, so Fabio has stepped up and he's going to run Spelljammer for us for 5th edition. And in doing so, he decided that he wanted to run a Session Zero. Now, like I said, Session Zeros mean different things to different people, but in general, it's a game to prepare the players and the GM for a new game, whether that's restrictions or new rules that the GM has to go over, any important questions that the players feel that they should know information about before they get into the game, depending on how your game starts. So when Fabio ran this, he did a couple of interesting things which I wanted to bring up and actually kind of point towards as things that if I was ever going to run a Session Zero, things that I would do for my future Session Zeros. So we're going to go over about 4 things that I kind of picked out from our stream, and I got notes. So the first thing, I think the main thing that the Session Zero accomplishes is if you've already settled on a game, and you're not trying to pitch a bunch of different ideas to your players, and you've already settled, like, look, we're playing Spelljammer, we got the new books, we're going to play around with it. So we're on agreement that what game we were already playing. This is a time that Fabio was able to field down what it means to be a Spelljammer, because I know some information about Spelljammer from many editions ago of D&D, but a lot of that may have changed, especially with the rules editions changed to now we're playing in 5th edition, as well as a lot of lore changes that they may have made. But you may have also never played Spelljammer, never heard of Spelljammer before. What is Spelljammer? So this is an opportunity for Fabio to go, okay, this is what the world means, and this is what it means for your characters. And this also is a great place to put where if you feel as a GM there's any restrictions for characters or races that wouldn't make sense, now is the time to do it, saying, well, either a blanket, like there's none of these, so there's no fighters, but there's a lot of wizards, or this race really doesn't fit, or as the players and the GM have a conversation and they kind of come up with an idea, and you call it like, that really doesn't work, and here's the reason why that might not work. So this is similar to something that Jared had done in our Rise of the Rune Lords game way back when we first started doing all this crazy stuff. And in the beginning of Rise of the Rune Lords, not to give any spoilers, but it starts off with a big goblin battle. And the town doesn't really like goblins. And it'd be really hard for a player, not impossible, but extremely hard for any one of the players to play a goblin in a realistic way in the beginning of the game, because all the town wants to kill goblins. So in the beginning of that game, he kind of outlawed you can't play a goblin. In Pathfinder 2nd edition, goblins are a playable race. He says, no, you can't be a goblin, because it just is too far of a leap of understanding, because the entire town hates goblins and murders them on sight. Kind of makes it hard to play a goblin as a PC. They don't know you're good. They just know you're a goblin. So stuff like that, if that comes up, you kind of let your players know, hey, well, this book, I really don't think that this book has a place in this game. But you can play any of these races except this one over here, or maybe these classes are fine, but that one over there, that's a little questionable. You got to have a really good reason to be that class, because all the gods are missing, so you can't really play clerics and paladins, as well as you could play like a fighter or a wizard or sorcerer or something like that. So that's a great spot to give a preliminary information to your players, as well as discuss things that may not function for your game. The second thing that Fabio went over, which I thought is very interesting, is you've gone over any variant rules or any changes or homebrew rules to the game, whether it's using variant rules from a book that's not normally standard. To the case in point of 5th edition, flanking and feats are both variant rules in the game. They're kind of ubiquitous now, so we really didn't go over that too much, but we did go over a couple of variant rules, kind of homebrew rules that Fabio was going to implement. And so explained how it works for us, so we weren't blindsided in the middle of a game where I drink that health potion and I'm not sure what's supposed to happen now because the rule was changed. Well, it's best to not change those on the fly. If you are going to be overarching changes to major rules, or even minor rules, but it just become accustomed to players to understanding. Like they know if they drink a potion in 5th edition, it's going to heal 2d4 plus some, plus some numbers, or may heal, like that's a smaller health potion, it's 2d4 plus 2. Okay. Well, in Fabio's game, to make that, we all hate it when we roll 2 1s and like, oh, well, I only get 4 hit points back. My arm is severed on the floor over there. So what am I going to do? So in Fabio's game, he kind of went over, I'm not going to go over all the variant rules, but he went over that healing potions heal for max. But because they heal for max, they're going to be much more uncommon to find. And there's going to be limitations on how many you can buy. Normally you can go, health potions are so ubiquitous, I could buy as many as I have gold for. But because they have a benefit of being able to roll for always max, so you don't really rolling, you're just taking the maximum value, they're harder to find. And you're not going to find a lot of them because they are better than normal. And went over several other house/variant rules, just so, like I said, so the players understand how the game world works. And like I said, this is not to say that this is the only changes you can make to the game. There's always going to be those situations where, I don't know how this situation is supposed to work, or the rules don't go over what this situation just happened. We're going to he's going to just make a ruling on the fly, and then maybe go back to it later. We're not talking about that. We're talking about overarching major rules that he decided that, and he even let it over to the players. Any variant rules that they were thinking of about the how the world is supposed to function that they would prefer in the game. So it kind of gives an open discussion of, well, these are the variant rules that I as a GM I'm going to implement, and everyone did seem to be okay with it. And the other thing is he opened the floor saying, hey, does anyone have a variant rule that they really think is cool and it would work well in the game? And we can talk about that. The third thing that Fabio did, and he did this in a one-shot a while back that he ran, is he made the players roll to figure out what other PC they knew before the game even starts. Now, it's up to the PCs to figure out how that relationship functions. But now, given that fact that we're all friends in our game, so it's most likely we would have done this anyway, but this is a great way, especially if you're either a new GM or a GM with a new batch of players, especially say you're playing at a store or you're playing at a library or some other gathering, and you're dealing with a bunch of new players that never even met each other before, or maybe you have a pair of friends and those 3 friends over there, and they decided, they want to have a 5-player D&D game, and you started running it. What's typically going to happen is the 2 players that are friends are going to know each other, and the 3 friends who know each other are going to be friends in game. And then the 2 parties, in essence, you're going to be playing for, in essence, 2 different parties. Now, it's not to say that they're not going to interact with one another, but most people are more comfortable interacting with people they know. So it's nice to have a randomized system, or a system where you can say, okay, no. You're not going to be, your PC is not going to know your friend's PC. Your PC is going to know one of the other people. And it's to kind of force the interaction between the players to a limited degree. And we're not trying to make anyone uncomfortable, but it lets the PCs kind of work together, the players work together, and kind of starting that storytelling even before the game starts. And like, I'll be this kind of person and you'll be pursuing me, or I'll know you from magic school, or what have you. Just take any pick you want. But it lets you kind of break up those kind of niches or cliques that sometimes can happen in the field games versus games where you play. Maybe even in your own game, those two your friends are always want to have their characters kind of know each other, and kind of break that up a little bit and kind of see what happens when they're required to make friends with the other PCs. So I think that's an interesting rule. He did that kind of a high roll, low roll thing. So me and Tina rolled low, and then Jeff and Zach rolled high. So Jeff and Zach's characters, they're going to know each other. And then Tina's and I character are also know each other. So it starts off the game where we kind of know a little bit about those characters, which kind of helps us gravitate towards them. And then it lets us ingratiate ourselves to the other PCs and starts the ball rolling. And the fourth thing is, it doesn't seem important, but I think it's more important than people give it credit for, keeping it short and informal. Now, you may have been coming off of a big game that you you just finalized the game, you're all like maximizing your 10th level, 15th level, 20th level, wherever you are, and you just finish an epic campaign. That's a lot to process sometimes at the end of these big games. So you want to start a new game, like, we were so excited to finish the last game, let's start a new game. But sometimes being an informal, just a meeting with friends, not really rolling dice, not really have to worry about what my character thinks about the situation, just an informal chat of like how this game works, what rules we're going to use, man, what kind of character I'm going to say, and just let the PCs kind of brew in what they want to make. And there's going to be a lot of banter back and forth, like, oh, well, I'll make the half-orc paladin. Oh, I'm going to make the hobgoblin wizard. So it's going to be a lot of that banter. It's going to be much more, I think it's a benefit to be a much more informal and shorter session. Like I said, most time we're playing 3-4 hours for our game sessions because we don't really meet every other week. But maybe your games meet every week and it's 4 hours every week. So it's nice to have a little bit of a break, especially if you're coming off of a high of another game, or it gives especially brand new people who've never met each other a nice short informal way of meeting each other, as well as being able to kind of figure out who's playing what and kind of what roles they want to play in that game and kind of what their character's going to be. It's not just their character and their race and their class, but it's how my character's going to act. And you're starting to formulate that at that point, but you're also going to be able to riff off of the other players and go, I think this is a really cool idea. And if the GM's okay with it, let's roll with it. So those are my 4 picks of the running a session 0, which I think that if I was going to run a session 0 in the future, I think I'm going to pull a couple of these little toolkits out of my little bag of tricks that I stole from Fabio. But let me know what you think. Have you ever run a session 0? If you have, what are the things that you go over in your session 0? Leave us in the comments down below. But this is Steve from Nothing Ventured, Nothing Gamed. May all your die rolls be crits, and may you always roll max damage. See you later.